All right, we
We're
are
here.
live. We're live.
We're back.
We're back. Facebook.
We're live.
We'll wait on our kinfolk to join us.
Live and on your side. Live and on your side. I'm posting it.
Live, and we are on your side.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a new slogan.
Hi, Joe.
Joe Givens back.
We
All right.
play this game every week.
I don't know. Every week.
Yep. Got to run this.
And I'm sorry, but we're not going to give up. Oh, there it is.
You got
They
it?
were late today, Doug. 7:59. So y'all, people out there want to know.
Copyright claim withdrawn. So,
Time. See, 7:59. Look.
yeah. So, maybe Agnes didn't answer the phone right away. He probably knew it was.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
I don't know if they got mad at me about bitching about doctors or not, but whatever. Yeah, I don't get it. I'm just being serious. I don't get it. I don't understand what they were. Why would you jack my sugar up over 400? I
Did you
don't
ask
take
anybody?
insulin. What? I tried to ask that some bitch, but I couldn't understand when he was flapping his arms and he looked like Kirsten Castro.
Would you have a chicken?
He may have been foreign. I'm afraid to say it, or we'll be bullying.
Right.
Of Arabian Arabic accent.
So they fed you well, put your sugar all out of whack. And
Yeah.
Anything for any of the other.
Well, they did a sleep study and said you had a couple episodes in your sleep and we'd like this and we'd like that. And I don't know what the fuck EEG is. I don't know. Something in the air up there must have went low. I don't know. you know. But I'm just telling you that I went in, it was 170. When I left, it was way over 400. You know, yeah, it may be. I mean, every day I got that, Doug.
Really, every day?
Every day. Every day.
For what?
I don't know. COVID's over. Didn't he say that?
He did say that. He did say that. But even if they checked you today, you would think that they'd at least give you 24 hours.
Listen, I'm just telling you, COVID's over. And they checked me every day.
Yeah. What happens is they shut you down from doing any kind of comments. And
yeah, it just shuts down. We can't see anything and everything else. And then they. So, yeah, I don't. Doug, I can tell you this. I'm going to Avon Cleveland Clinic. That's all.
Okay. And you did say you wanted to talk a little bit about your own personal thoughts.
Yeah.
If you can say them correctly without getting us thrown off.
I went into it last week. I can't help but feel it's one of two things in my mind. It's one of two things. And it's either, I'm telling you right now, it's either the jab. It's got me all whacked up. Randy Feekins, I started talking to him the other day and I had to go and I never got back with him, but he's having all them same symptoms that I had, Doug. You know, all them same symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And this is my neck. See where I got a circle?
Yeah.
That's my spinal cord that's being pinched off. See it?
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like it's...
That's my spinal cord that's being pinched off where I broke my neck, and that was 4 years ago. And these dumbass neurologists didn't even want to look at that.
So you might as well tell everybody what was going on so they can understand why you think that's...
Oh, I passed out.
Just randomly. Right.
What, the shot?
No.
What, the
If
jab?
you pass out just
I
randomly,
never.
or you go to sleep randomly.
Well, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I go take a break. I talked about it Monday. You know, it is what it is. But I didn't have all this fucking shit until the jab.
Okay.
So it's either my neck or the jab, and they're saying, "Well, you're having seizures." And
See you later.
I said, "Well, I feel it coming on, and I feel better when I wake up. I'm only out for, what do you mean you feel better, Mr. Mize? What the fuck didn't you understand? I feel better afterwards.
Sounds
Well,
like
what do you mean you feel it coming on?" It was like I was talking, you know, when I have better conversations with my granddaughter. You know? Now, the nurses, let me tell you something. Nurses are good. Nurses cool, so.
They seem to be cool when they're in the picture you took.
Yeah, I mean, they're cool as hell, you know? I mean, but it is what it is, you know?
So Fox did a whole thing on people who were dying and some of the stuff that they're finding in these deaths. Most
Yeah.
of it goes back to the booster, not so much the original thing. But it's bad. It's doing something to the arteries and veins.
The boosters are, yeah. I mean, the vaccine itself did some shit to some people, though. You know, I'm telling you, it's whatever. But it is what it is. I'm trying to watch something here.
What are you watching?
Never
Can you
mind.
share it? Or is it
I'll explain now.
or X-rated? What?
Midville, little fight with. Anyways, all right.
Right in here.
Let me get back to the C&D show. I get extremely tired since my jabs. Got that too, Tommy. You know, a lot of people are.
Bye to Robert.
Huh?
Make sure you say bye to Robert.
Bye, Robbie. I think, well, it's going to take, and me and Doug, we've talked about this. I won't know in my lifetime, but I bet my kids might, and I know my grandkids might learn what happened with all this right now. I don't think I'll know, but I can tell you this: Randy Feekins has the same balance issues and everything, Doug. Same timeline.
And just for people who don't know him, he was a firefighter, so he was very active.
Yeah, like he said last week, climbing 100-foot ladders, and now he's afraid to go 10 foot. I can't, you know, whatever. It is what it is, you know. I can't go back in time and take that back out of me, so I got to deal with it. But there's, I'm sorry if it's not my neck causing the issues. I'm gonna sit here and swear my problems were jab related. That's me personally. Me personally. Not anybody else, Doug. I'm not giving medical misinformation. I'm giving personal experience.
After looking at that picture, I say that's probably a good percentage of your issue. Because if you just move your head a certain way, you're going to pitch that off. And they didn't want to see that, did they?
Nope.
They must know something that we don't know.
And the worst part, Fireland's the one that did that MRI. Remember a couple years ago when this balance thing started after the jab?
Right.
I had to go get that.
Right.
You've had 9 confirmed concussions, Mr. Mize. And they kind of discluded that, Doug. You know. Well, you know, heat exhaustion.
The That
They'll
takes
have an answer for you.
that takes a couple of lives a year. It's just this heat wave was just so much different.
Yeah, and they'll have an answer for you.
Oh, David.
Dave, you'll be sitting with Robbie. You have some commissary money. But I'm being serious. They'll have some kind of answer for you.
I agree.
I mean, when I started, and I ain't gonna lie to you folks, I lit up in the hospital room with two doctors.
What do you mean lit up?
Oh, I started going off on my little spill. This shit didn't happen till that jab, and da da da. And them poor nurses, you treat them nurses like shit. I tell them, but I don't know if we got any nurses watch anymore. You treat them nurses like shit. When beginning of this son of a bitch, you didn't have masks. They had to wear their masks 2 weeks, sleep in their garage, everything else, making them work 14, 16 hours a day. If they got COVID, some of them work the COVID floor, da, 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 da. Then you guys all turn around, executives in this hospital, Joe Biden and everybody else. Well, it's slowing down. So if you don't get the vaccination, you don't have a job. You weren't thinking that shit in the beginning of this.
What did they say to that?
They just looked at me like I was a fucking idiot.
No, they were probably going, "Gosh, he's got this right on."
They just looked at me.
Right.
What are they going to say?
Right.
The nurses ran around behind the curtain, acting like they were doing something. And when they left, they come back and smile. And of course, I ain't going to say there was no conversation. I don't want to get them in trouble, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Well, let me tell you something. All the heads of the departments, a lot of the heads of the departments and doctors went right along with that bullshit when that come down. And oh my God, are you kidding?
That's what he remembered when he got there.
Well, here in California, wildfires devastated this area. Joe, you're in Florida, and it was water.
Yeah, water puts out fire. We needed that in California. Why did you guys take all the water?
Unbelievable, and then, it's like we played last week. Well, he's saying, where's so-and-so? Well, they've been dead for a month, Joe.
Yeah. Remember you said a nice thing about them?
Yeah. I can believe he did that, though. Go to, I tell you what, I feel sorry for them people down there.
So, all right, then we'll do this Biden thing, and then we'll jump over to the Florida thing here in a minute. So, since you had some time just to sit and watch TV, you probably already know all this. So
I didn't.
Yeah, you did. No, you didn't. So otherwise, you couldn't talk to the doctors if you were sleeping.
Andy Griffith was on.
Watching Me TV.
Me TV, yes.
So, but they don't play any news. So he, it's getting closer to the elections. So he put it out there. These gas stations need to lower prices of fuel.
Yeah, we said that last week, and boom,
put that out there. Now this week he says that he's pardoned anybody with a marijuana conviction on a federal level, which there is 0 people in prison for possession of marijuana in the federal system. There are state. What?
What? There's what?
0 people convicted of possession of marijuana in the federal prison system.
I have high doubts on that. And you know what? I'm not gonna do it now, but I will research this week. He's full of shit. You got RICO acts. I know of many people in certain clubs that ride bikes. There's guys that got busted for marijuana. A simple pound of marijuana, or not a pound, but whatever, would get you 6 months in a county jail. they can try them under a RICO Act because they might be the Angels or the Outlaws or the Banditos. And once they try them under the RICO Act, they go to federal prison for like 2 years.
There is no respecting this Joker.
Oh, Jesus.
So but this was just on a news
So
program.
that's another lie.
That there is nobody in prison that's at least going to fall under this possession. All it is it's look, we're weeks away from the midterm elections, so you got to put something out there. Joe, here, this won't even hurt us. Now he's got all these people who like marijuana. Oh, this is pretty cool, because they don't know that it only. First of all, it does not go into the military. Military has their own form of justice, so it doesn't go.
Yeah.
If it was more than simple possession, then you're staying in prison, wherever you might be. But he kind of opened the door for states. So now he's got all these smokers and tokers that be like, he's pretty cool, this old guy.
You want my opinion on marijuana? I'll tell it to you. Marijuana, not the synthetic shit, not the dabs and all that happy horse shit. Regular, let's smoke a joint marijuana. What's the difference if I go in my backyard tonight, smoke a joint around the fire, or drink a 6-pack or a 12? Somebody explain to fucking me what the difference is.
And that's true. Like, it's really insignificant. But what Biden did was made it a big deal. And now all he's trying to do is garner votes. All this stuff that he's doing, he's slapping the gas stations around like they can dictate pricing.
And they told him, go fuck off. The very next day he said that, well, we're not at $4. You're right, but we're at $3.99.9. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Now they're legalizing marijuana, got marijuana shops taxing that. Fucking plant.
And they got what?
Taxes. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I don't give I don't give a shit if a guy smokes a joint or not. I really don't. I mean, I don't care. I guarantee you, the day I retire and no longer will be working, I guarantee you'll find me in my backyard higher than a kite with a bag of Doritos probably spread all over me. I'm just telling you, I ain't smoked pot since 20 years old, 21 when they started drug testing in Steel Mill Marine. But I guarantee you, when I retire, I will smoke a joint. I'm just saying. Yeah. Hey, look, my son, hit me up, Pops. Oh, fuck. Both my boys are going, yeah. When you retire.
He's so much cooler than when we lived there.
Yeah, and you're right. You're right. See, Tommy, you're right. It's just like, moonshine. Now they're letting people make moonshine. Well, it's because you got a smart individual.
Yeah, we raised ours. Remember when DeWine first got in? The first thing he did. He wanted 50 cents, and I think he got a quarter.
No, he got more than that. He wanted 75 and got 50, I think. I think it's like 40 cents a gallon. Chaz, so you're lucky. But see, here's the thing. OPEC, Biden comes on, tells them gas stations, you won't raise your tax, your prices and this, that. What's OPEC do? Comes out and says, well, we're looking at cutting production. Nobody's afraid.
No.
Nobody's afraid. And here, we have all the resources in the United States. We don't need it. We do not need it. But they took the fracking away in how many different places? And it's like digging for gold. Okay, you got a creek that's filled full of gold. Everybody's hitting gold nuggets, hitting gold. And all of a sudden, somebody comes in, the government comes in, hey, you can't mine here no more. You can't panhandle here no more. You got to go down the creek, 20 miles down there at the other end of the creek. When they know they might have a couple flakes here and there, that's it. And that's what he did with the fracking, Doug, and the drilling. You know, and the same with you know, here, I said this a million times on this show. Listen to what the guy says. Oh yeah. Oh boy. But you have to listen to what he says. He shut the pipeline down and Keystone Pipeline down and everything else. And if you listen to the State of Union address, just one part of it, here's what he says. He goes, what is that?
Well, we'll get into it. Diane, if you could put what that actually goes to, because I can't click on it.
Yeah, but if you listen to the State of Union address, what's he say about Russia and the Nord Stream pipeline? The way to hurt a country is shut down their pipeline. I'm shutting the Nord Stream pipeline. Well, it was shut down, you dumb son of a bitch.
Right.
Trump shut it down. You opened it back up. A month after you shut the Keystone Pipeline down, you allowed them to open up the Nord Stream pipeline. I mean, we got 2 more years. 2 more years. That's all.
And I'll let you know now, just from what I've seen and just looking at news sites and all that, Republicans do not have this midterm locked in.
Because if you look at the census stuff that you were talking about, do you see that video I sent you the other day?
Yes, I did.
They're yanking, just like what you were talking about last week. I watched this video. Oh, I can't remember who it was. They're yanking delegates from red states, and the census is lowering them, but they're putting blue states, saying they got more population, handed to them. They're rigging an election already. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it started actually in 2020 when they did the census, because they've miscounted, and they know they have. They've even put it out that there are some places that are all screwed up for whatever reason. Well, 2020 was COVID, so they knew there was issues.
Everybody was fucking home. They should have been right on.
But people went different places, like, you know, kids ended up at their parents' house and stuff like that. So they were counted. And
I'm telling you, this election gets screwed with, you'll see it. You'll see it. When we want to go all electric, we want to go Biden's all electric, electric cars, electric. Then why is he calling for a bunch of generators to go to Florida?
Well, I was just going to ask you, how long does a battery last in a vehicle in miles?
Well, it depends. I said last week, and it's actual fact. You know, because I know Facebook would smack us. A truck hauling a camper on gas went like 200 miles, 180 whatever miles, or 280 miles. A electric truck hauling the same camper went 89 miles before it had to be recharged.
Dave was saying 300.
A car, maybe.
So let's use a car. And how long is the state of Florida in miles?
Longer than 300.
So if you were to evacuate, you're not getting out on electric.
They're blowing up.
And they're blowing up, right.
The electric cars in Florida right now are starting to blow up because of the salt water and the mixture into the batteries. Yeah. Yep. There you go. They're blowing up.
Didn't even think of driving my car into the.
You know, you take water Water is a conductor of electricity. We all know that. You know, don't believe me? Hang on to the hairdryer and drop it in the bathtub. But if you take salt water, it multiplies. It conducts it,
Mhm.
multiplies the conduction of electricity. That salt water is getting in them batteries. Boom. And what's battery got? Magnesium, lithium.
Well,
Spray some water on a magnesium fire once.
thanks
Dave
to
Lowry.
the citizens of Michigan, they're going to have 2 plants in there that are going to be making electric vehicle batteries.
So they're 18,000 a piece.
But the
The car's blowing up on
Michigan
fire.
are
What
funding
is
it. They're
Here's your
funding it.
batteries. I got your batteries, but you
You hear
don't.
me? You hear me?
Oh, who's
Why
funding
are they
it?
funding it?
Who?
The citizens of Michigan.
I have no idea, Doug. Why?
What if you already have a student loan debt that you're paying off, and you've got all that charity that you've given to Ukraine? Now you're gonna. What if DeWine says
And you got to listen. You got a city in Michigan that used to be a booming ass city that now is the most poverty stricken city in the United States, Detroit. Yeah, because they can't get them out.
Don't think that this isn't part of the Bilderberg plan.
Listen, we got 2 people from Florida that live in Florida right now. Lighting that page up about these electric cars. They're down there. It isn't theory. They're down there. They're seeing it. The media ain't covering it, Doug. The media is not covering it. Right there. Yeah.
Wow.
So what do you do? I mean, come on. If my garage flooded out in a hurricane and my Buick sitting in here, it doesn't blow up. All right? It doesn't blow up. You know, you got problems with the car, but it doesn't blow up.
Right.
You can get it back. You know what I mean? You can go rehab it and everything. Them cars are blowing up.
And taking the house with it.
In garages and taking a house with it. And we're not seeing it. 200. And we're not seeing anything on the media. It doesn't matter. The sad part about Florida, if it was California that had that, every day on the news you'd see the devastation and everything. CNN, all of them be reported. But it's Florida with DeSantis and all that. You're not going to see the shit.
And don't forget, there's 11 states that have whatever resolutions, laws, what I don't even know what they are anymore, mandating that it's all electric by 2035. 11 states.
And they're talking about equipment in them states now. Like I said, Florida should be a prime example. And I hate to say this, I don't mean to use an example of a disaster and tragedy for you guys down there, but Florida should be a prime example. If you had everything electric, power was out, what the fuck are you going to do?
That's sad.
Yeah. What are you going to do? I mean, what the equipment's going to sit there. You know, like I said, you're not going to take a tanker truck, run up in North Carolina, fill a tanker truck up full of electric, come back, oh, where you want me to dump it at? You're not going to do that. It's, and I seen a comment. I don't know if someone just put it up on here. I think someone put it up on this one. You know, it's real easy when you got all electric and you got all this digital dollar, electric cars, and electric cars got computer chips in them. Just stop and think. The government can shut everything off on you in just a flip of a couple buttons. Boom, 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 in a computer, and your car ain't running, your bank account, you have nothing. Nothing.
All right.
Nothing. I mean, He can. Oh yeah. Well, never mind. Where's the lithium come? Where's what was it, Doug? We went into this on a show. Took 40 minutes on it. 70% of the world's lithium, where does it come from? I think was 60 to 80% in that range. Where does 60 to 80% of the world's lithium come from? Anybody know?
Not here.
Afghanistan.
I've
Afghanistan.
heard of that place.
Right. Who'd we give it back to? You know? Who'd we give it back to?
And then we go to them and go, can we have some lithium? Okay.
Yeah. Can you trade us some lithium for all the shit that we gave you?
Yeah. Here, we gave you like $80 million or $80 trillion
Billion.
worth of billions of dollars worth of arms. Here's a good news, bad news story. And this is Florida. This is nice. Florida Strong t-shirts.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Somebody got offended.
You won't find them on Facebook because Facebook said no, you're not doing
it. Why?
They said it was political and it was using a tragedy. And you know that Facebook has this thing about you don't use tragedy and stuff for gain. So they pulled his ad off. Every time he posted it, they took it down.
Where was the profits going for the t-shirts?
It was going back into a fund to help the residents of Florida. And he said
so there was no fucking profit gain.
Correct. They do this, you know, in a lot of locations. This is a company that does that, tries to make money so that they can send it into these disasters.
We put up on Facebook on our page the Speedway Bev Strong. When Bev was going through that, remember?
Right. In the aftermath of Hurricane Ian, we responded by launching a design supporting our neighbors to the south. This guy's from Georgia. Unfortunately, Facebook denied our ad, flagging it as political and a social issue. Now, if you go on Fox and Friends, you'll see the whole.
But I bet you if it was in California with that goofball Newsom, California Strong, they wouldn't have said nothing.
Now, they said political, and you have to put that it's political. Like, if it's going to be political, you have to put it. They asked him flat out, did you tick the box that said this is political? He said, absolutely not. And he said, I reached out to our entire team, make sure nobody did that, and nobody done that. We checked it. It doesn't say that it's political.
So Facebook strikes again.
Yeah. At the expense of the residents of Florida.
Two of them on our show right now.
But listen, remember, they have DeSantis down there. This social media and all this stuff, they do not like all that. DeSantis is going against the grain. So this is how they're gonna attack back. So he cannot sell them on Facebook.
Just remember, Zuckerfuck admitted that the administration along with the FBI swayed him on what certain things that went up, they wanted off, and he took them off. What was that, a month or so ago, Doug?
Yes.
So here we are. Fuck around DeSantis.
What?
Take it off. That's what they're saying. Fuck DeSantis. Take it off.
Yeah.
We ain't helping Florida.
So,
you know, Facebook, they ought to be ashamed of themselves.
No, they always put, and they do that with us too. If you feel this is an error, please contact us, and we will adjusted or whatever. The
Yeah.
guy has reached out by email with no response. He's tried to call into him and has not talked to a person since. And this started last week sometime, and he cannot get to a live human.
Good. They must have the same customer service that we have with YouTube.
Exactly. Yeah, they're in the same building.
Yeah, we're 6 weeks now on a 1 week suspension.
There are
Yeah,
many platforms. It's moving everybody over to a new platform. Some people, I don't know.
they won't go. They won't go with it. I mean, we've discussed our show going to a different platform, but it'd be hard to get them all there. No, you're right, Marty. That's what I say. First thing a lot of people do when they wake up in the morning, Facebook. There's no, a lot of people don't watch the news anymore because Facebook. It's last thing you do before you go to bed. Facebook. Yeah.
So I don't know where you can find these shirts, but they do give all 100%. They don't keep any of it. They give 100% to, Red Cross and things that are down in them.
Can we take an ad and put it up on our page?
That ad?
Yeah.
See how long it lasts. I never thought about it, and we will push the envelope. We do it every week.
Put the ad up on the page. How can you? I see there's no political gain, and there's no profitable gain to that company. All the money's going to the Florida residents.
Yeah, and for anybody that's interested in it and want to look more into it, there is their link to that particular shirt and what they're doing and how they're doing it, and it's their website. So obviously, Facebook can't do anything about that. And there's only 7 days, 12 hours, 21 minutes, and 31, 30, 29, 28 seconds left to order.
Evidently, we're getting froze up. A few people in there.
Really?
I don't know. Can you all hear us?
There's 20 of you on there.
Nah, we're gonna put it up now, Dave. Fuck it. I'm sick of it. It is what it is. I mean, whatever. Move on to the next one, Doug, because I'm gonna flip out.
No. Last week.
No, I'm gonna flip out on. Now I'm freezing up. I just. Whew, here we go. Sorry, Mr. Zuckerfuck.
Right. We talked about your enemy, Ron DeSantis, and that you guys pulled off an ad that was supporting people,
Florida, and all the profits were going to the citizens of Florida.
Right. We were saying nice things, and we should not have done that.
I'm sorry. Here, we won't freeze up no more. Fuck Florida. There, we won't flee. We will not freeze up no more.
Yeah, you guys find your own way out of that.
Yeah. You want to be your own country.
No shirts for you.
No shirts for you. No profit for you. Here, we'll be good now.
We should be all right now.
Whatever. Fucking idiot. Jesus. All right. You got some. Yeah. Goodbye.
Now, if you said Trump had one, you'd be all right.
Sometimes I wonder. No soup for you. I can't even say what we called him on TV. Oh, God, I'll offend somebody. Don't you remember Seinfeld? No soup for you.
Right. Yep. We will find this ad somewhere, and we will. You know what I'm going to do?
We'll post it.
Yeah, I'm going to post that link. That'll be the first thing we do.
Then after the show, we'll post the ad on our page.
Yeah. we'll find the ad and repost that.
That just kind of tells you. I mean, it's no more. It's no more the United States.
No, you got to pick a side here. You don't.
They're
You
dividing
can't
this
just.
shit so bad. It's no more,
You cannot just
you know.
ride in the middle here. You're one or the other. You got to pick a side.
I said it before. I did not like George W. But when 9/11 happened, there was none of this shit. We all
Right.
gathered together.
You are right.
You know.
Yep.
We were all one.
Right.
You know.
That copy. Where's our Facebook page at?
It's probably being deleted as we speak. Fuck it, the soup Nazi. No soup for you.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting this posted, and then we'll get back to it. Oh, they're slowing things down a lot here. Okay, paste. Okay.
Because Ron, that would make too much sense, and I've said this before. I'm all for green, but you can never get rid of fossil fuels in our world nowadays. You can never get rid of them.
Dude.
I mean, to have a windmill running on a wind farm, and Kevin Hill, Lubrication Supply LLC, Schaefer's Oil, will tell you there's between 500 and 600 gallons of hydraulic oil in that windmill. But we want to get rid of fossil fuels. So how's the windmills going to turn? There's so many bearings. Marty, you know this. There's so many bearings and stuff that you got to grease. Grease comes from fossil fuels. Without that, I mean, you can have an electric engine all you want, okay? You still have turning parts, Doug. You're still going to have to grease different things. They're still going to, what are we going to grease them in? Yeah, and you know what, Marty? We're 21 years away from 9/11, yeah, and most people did forget. Forgot completely about it.
Look at all the stuff we forgot before we go there. David, what do you want sent to you? And if you want that link, if you go to C&D Noble Show Facebook, it's on there. Think about it. Afghanistan, we've forgotten about that. The general population has forgotten about it. Me and you.
I mean, who remembers when they first tried to take down the World Trade Centers down in the bottom of the parking garage?
Right.
Oklahoma City.
Yep.
Remember the bomb in Oklahoma City?
Yep.
When they bombed our boat, you remember?
Pearl Harbor?
No. It was, what was it, late 80s, early 90s when they bombed one of our ships?
Yeah.
And you know, you can go on. We forgot. We've forgotten. You know. Yeah. You can't. You cannot get rid of fossil fuels completely. It's just a fact.
All right. Go buy your Florida Strong shirts while they last.
Yeah, Tim. What was his name? Tim. His last name started with an L. The Oklahoma City deal. USS Cole. You're right, Chaz. See, people remember.
Yeah. Tim McVeigh.
Tim McVeigh, was it?
Yeah, Tim McVeigh.
Yeah. But if you remember, Will, Tim McVeigh had turned Muslim. Remember that, Doug? He went to Islam.
Right.
Right. And that's why Tommy Hayward, yeah, USS Cole. And, you know, I don't know. We forget because then we move on and you know, the whole world changed on 9/11. We had to learn the new world, the new ways.
Yeah.
Then,
We had to learn another new way.
yeah, then, the COVID-19, now Timothy McVeigh. He if you go in and read and research, he had pledged and went Muslim and the radical Islam. That's one of the reasons why he blew that up. He became a terrorist for radical Islamic nation, which back then they I'm sure they had ISIS and Taliban and that, but it wasn't who the fuck taught bin Laden? Osama bin Laden, who taught him? We did. Under Clinton, we taught him.
I'm not doing anything.
Research it. Huh?
I'm not doing anything.
No. But we taught Osama bin Laden right there, Marty. It was under, I believe it was under the Clinton administration. CIA went over and taught him all his tricks.
Hopefully everybody did take that link and click on it and look at the Bilderberg information and researched it, so that we're just not talking about something that nobody knows anything about and thinks that we're losing our minds here. They have a
new world order, and it's on its way because they got something passed, and there's nobody had a clue. If you walk out and talk to somebody tomorrow and you said, "Did you know about the Bilderberg Group?" "Oh yeah, I've heard about it." "What? Did you know they passed a global tax through of the whole world?" "No, they did." "Okay."
Right. Yes, they did. They I don't know.
One of our first 2-3 shows, we started talking about the Bilderberg Group.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
And we made it further than Jesse Ventura did.
Marty, we've been listen, Marty, we've been supplying the terrorists with arms for years. Look at the Iran-Contra scandal. Remember Oliver North?
Mm-hmm.
How soon we forget that? That was under Reagan. Hung him out to dry. Had no clue he was doing that. Yeah, you did. It's like I had no clue the National Guard was sleeping in the parking garage. Well, your wife was just down there yesterday and gave him cookies and pizza. You telling me you didn't know?
Exactly right. And moved them out of a hotel so that they could move other people in there.
And ordered them not to go up the street to the other hotel that Trump was going to supply them.
Right. So they slept in the garage.
Whatever. So I can't say DJ Swearingen's got hats now that...
He's got hats?
Yeah, for campaign.
Political?
Would that be political on, political gain on Facebook? Or,
Well, if he's Republican.
Oh, Marty, thank you. This is what I was looking for.
What?
Okay. Here, I'm going to show this picture. I knew Marty was exactly knowing what I was talking about. So, everybody will agree on here before I show this picture that one of the things that this administration and the whole green kick is wind power, right, Doug?
Mm-hmm.
Windmills. Get away from fossil fuels. Here's what happens to a windmill. See all that?
What is that?
It's hydraulic oil.
Right.
Remember I said the other day, a couple weeks ago, I says, look, and when you see a windmill that isn't working, and it's all brown right there, that's all hydraulic oil. A seal blue and stuff. Hydraulic oil. Now, where's the EPA on that, Doug? You drop 500-600 gallons of hydraulic oil. Hell, a truck gets in a wreck on a highway and drops 100 gallons or whatever of diesel fuel on the road. You see the EPA and everybody out there clean up, clean harbors up there in Cleveland and that. But that blows, you don't see shit, do you?
No. Now, did you forget about
5 to 600 gallons, Marty?
Did you forget about Hunter
Forget
Biden?
about what?
Hunter. What's the password to his laptop?
I'm waiting for you to go off on Hunter.
No. So here's another political ploy.
Anal sex 69. Isn't that what's up?
Yes. Good that you know that. So Hunter Biden, they have enough information to now charge him, but they're not charging him with anything but tax evasion and getting a weapon.
Under disability?
Well, it's not under disability. He's not disabled. He falsified something to get a firearm, something like that. Those are the two charges they're coming up with. What's that? Oh, Jesus.
Black smoke don't come from electric like that, Doug.
That's true. Well, yeah, that's probably why they're doing this. And the other thing is, it's not going to happen until after the election. But there you go again, another political move, because Garland, who's the United States Attorney General, is involved in it. So there's Hunter Biden.
When we gonna, when we just gonna lock him up?
The president?
No,
Which president?
Hunter Biden.
Do you really think he's going to go to prison for tax evasion and falsifying documents on a firearm?
Dude, they're after Trump. If he took a shit and it cost $0.25 and he got in there without $0.25, they'd make national news.
Okay, good thing that you brought that up, because that takes us into our next topic. That the Democrats forgot about the 25th Amendment. They remembered it when Trump was in office.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember Nancy Pelosi's comment about Trump, that he is dangerous and
we can remove him under the 25th Amendment.
Yes. He was a danger to the country. Remember that?
Chad, they're out in the desert. Chaz, they're out in the desert.
Doing what?
They bury him because there's so many chemicals in a windmill blade that you can't recycle it. I'm just looking at the comments.
So the "Where's Jackie" comment started getting a lot of attention. That this guy is so out of it, he doesn't have a clue what's going on. But then you put somebody in there that has absolutely no idea what's going on either. So there's your second choice.
We're fucked all the way around. Garland, let me tell you something. In my mind, Garland's one of the most crooked federal attorney generals that we've ever had. He's bad. He is bad. I mean, let's get into real quick. I'll just say it real quick and then go. We've preached it on here. The CRT, critical race theory training. Who makes the books for CRT? Garland's son-in-law.
So Pelosi on October 8th, 2020 said that Trump suffered from a disassociation from reality and that he was in an altered state and that his condition would be funny if it weren't so deadly. What about this idiot that we have running the country now that's completely lost it?
And also during that time, Pelosi made comments that Trump would have us in World War III.
Yes, and look who's putting us into the
How close are we in 2 years to World War III? Yeah. And
We're
that's
like
what he said.
We're like one more statement away. Yes, he did say that. He said that we're in his presidency
He said that.
closest that we've ever been to nuclear Armageddon than ever before. Even when we he named off two other things, the Cuban
And John F. Kennedy.
and JFK, right?
Yeah.
So Corn Pop, I wish he was our president right now.
That Beetlejuice got a full-time job.
Yes,
like you said.
Beetlejuice will always be she'll always be employed with the stupid stuff that he says that she has to go in and try to. And all she said about it was, we're poised as we've always been with nuclear weapons, and there's nothing imminent. Completely contrary to what he said, that we're closer to nuclear
Armageddon.
That's what he said. And now this is real. If you just go to msn.com and just kind of scroll through stuff, you'll see just little things about nuclear blast and how far out they can go and how they
why?
Because the dumb decided to say it.
Let me tell you, a lot of us are screwed. You got Perry Nuke playing over there, and you got Dave Espessi over here.
If you
and everybody's wondering, why is the fighter jets always flying out? I wonder why.
You have grandkids in school, but they're not quite old enough. But what if you had teenagers in school and they're hearing this, and you're a teacher? You got to be as good as Beetlejuice in deflecting all this stuff.
But listen, don't you remember when we were in grade school and elementary school and that? How many of you over there remember? Don't you remember the drills we used to have?
Yes, I do, but I thought they were tornado drills.
No, there were also the bomb. Remember, it was
bomb. Yep.
You remember? Get down under the desk, have your hands over your head. How many of you guys remember that over in
Right? Like twice a year, and then we did tornado drills. Like,
yeah, you had to go to a certain area. That. The shelter. Remember shelter area?
Yeah.
Remember? Don't you remember them yellow signs with the thing on it? It's a bomb shelter area.
Right. Now, do they still do that?
I've never. I haven't seen one of them signs in years. And what I'm saying is I can, Wolverines, but when we were in school, I can remember going through them drills. You know.
And, what were you doing?
I mean, I can remember you'd have to be under your desk or something with your hand, knelt down with your hands.
Right. It was like a head between your knees.
Yeah.
You kind of got down and
then with your hands over your head under.
Yep.
We're all old on this one. There's very few young kids.
The
only young one's watching is my one son, and he's waiting for me to retire so he can come up and smoke a blunt with me, I guess. I don't know.
You know that would bring the family together.
Yeah.
Everybody could be your friend now.
Bomb shelter, bro. We'll be doing bomb shelter practice out in the backyard.
Oh boy.
Be seeing psychedelic. Hey, this one must have been dipped. Remember that? How many are old enough to remember that? I got a dip joint.
Wow.
I heard about shit like that. I
wouldn't
know anything about it. So they tell me.
Now, I will be honest on this. I've never done that.
You've never hit acid?
Wait a minute. No, I never did. No.
Oh, here we go.
Wait a minute. I'll just tell one story here. I've never done marijuana, didn't any kind of drugs. The only thing that I did, I was in the Marine Corps, and they have what's called like barracks watch, security watch, fire watch, whatever you want to call it. And I was tired, and this guy's talking to me, and it's like midnight, I'm like, I'm not going to make it till 4 o'clock in the morning. He's, take a hit of this. It was speed. And he gave me mine. It didn't do anything. I said, that didn't do shit. So he gave me two more, and I took two more. Then it hit. And I'm waking people up because I'm just walking as fast as I possibly can. And that's the only thing I've ever done in my life. Nobody believes me.
Oh, they just hit my print. I'm not gonna front him out, but I had a guy just message me. He knew what the fallout shelter was, and when I said a dip joint, he says, "Yeah, it was dipped in embalming fluid." I know someone I never expect knew that.
Wow. Okay, Cammy didn't inhale. That's good.
Yeah,
Sounds like somebody else.
Three finger bag.
Went to school together.
2 finger, 3 finger.
No, I don't.
I don't know nothing about that. Anyways, go.
What is that? Monkey paw.
Different types of weed. You had Berlin,
All right,
Lowry Anderson, Berlin Road Gold, Sinsemilla, skunkweed. No, you don't. I'd be scared. I'd be scared nowadays to smoke pot, actually, believe it or not. But regardless, we're way off subject here.
All right, let's give away a pizza. Wow.
Oh yeah, hashtag no bullshit. Oh boy.
Want to thank Dean Henry.
Dean Henry, Big D's Pizza. He's still looking for a manager. Ditchweed.
Hashtag no bull show. This whole group's a bunch of stoners.
I may or may not have smoked a doobie one time in my life, Doug. I'm not sure. I can't recall.
That's politically correct.
I smoked pot. I smoked pot all the time when I was young.
See, I didn't.
And I tell my son Aaron, my son Chad, it was, one of them old stories. It was different then. The Toledo Speedway Jam. How many of you guys ever remember the Toledo Speedway Jam? It was famous. Oh, they had concerts come in. They had Molly Hatchet, Loverboy was there. They had big name groups used to come in. You'd be standing at Toledo Speedway Jam, the joint come down through, let it go on down.
Really?
Now I would, yeah, shit. Not nowadays. Yeah, hit a blunt and go to Big D's. Actually, I may or may not have smoked a joint that was sprinkled with dust one time, Doug. Scared the living shit out of me. I had a large pizza. And I'm walking down the street and I see this telephone pole by our house way up there. I kind of turned and looked back, and I was next to the pole. Went in the house, set the pizza down, looked at it, looked up TV, and looked back, and the pizza was gone. And I don't remember none of it. I said, well, I best should go to bed.
I better stop doing it.
Whatever.
Jeez.
It was back in the day. All right, hashtag no bullshit.
You're challenging on yourself, Aaron.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell the whole world the truth. I don't care. I really never. I knew when they were doing it. I didn't crack down on them hard.
Every parent says that.
I knew. Trust me. I knew. And I didn't. And he knows. Chad knows. I mean, I knew. I just told him to watch what they're getting. I can't condone it and say, yeah, it's okay, but whatever. Yeah, you ain't shitting. I kept a lot from her, but regardless. All right, Doug, I'm sorry.
All right, let's put the wheel up, or whatever you want to call this. Hashtag Snow Bull Show, and you will win yourself a pizza.
Big D's Pizza.
Big D's
Big
Pizza,
D's, Clyde, Ohio.
Clyde, Ohio. And are we ready?
Oh man.
What? You getting all kind of comments
Hashish.
about?
Hash.
We'll have a show on Monday.
I ain't even heard of hash. I ain't heard of hash in years.
That's true. I agree with you on that. I did hear the word.
Hashish.
And I wasn't. Like,
hashish.
first of all, I was never a straight A student in school, and I never went to church and all that stuff. But I just didn't do that.
Yes, thank you, Dean Henry.
Yeah.
That guy's a hell of a guy. I'll tell you right now. I mean,
I've heard of that too.
What?
Rush.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in a can. I was told. Coming to Brown game.
Clarify.
Hey, no wonder why I'm having problems.
Yeah. When you go to the hospital, just have them call me. I'll say, let me play this clip for you.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Here's your brain. Yeah, here's your brain on. Look, Chris Mize.
Right. All right, here we go. Good luck, everyone.
You never heard of Rush?
I have.
Hey, Aaron.
There you go. Take care of your munchies for you.
And I'd like to donate it to the marijuana rehab center that should be being built soon.
We could do that.
Actually, I tell you what.
What?
Dave, Rush was a little bit worse for you back then in a lot of things. Yeah, they wouldn't. Thank God I was scared to death of needles.
Ah, boy.
Not like dropping acid and running across the street in an apple orchard and throwing apples at each other and seeing the psychedelic colors coming at you. Whap! Hit you right in the foot. Wow, throw another one. All right, now that we confirmed half our group, group recovering potheads.
The first part is admitting. It's a good deal.
Yeah.
And I know what you're going to say to this, but I know a lot of people that do have it. So, do you have PayPal?
No, I do not.
I didn't think you did. Deb does.
She's got Venmo.
Okay. If you have PayPal, and believe me, they're trying to clean this up all day today. I've seen all kinds of things, and they're trying to retract what they're saying and things like this. But PayPal is updating its acceptable use policy, and it takes effect on November 3rd. Now, they're trying to backtrack everything that they said, but basically, if you don't read that and you just say, okay, I'm good with it, what you're allowing them to do is fine you for inappropriate messages, content, or materials. And misinformation. If you give misinformation, you can get fined. They can fine you $2,500 of your money. This is a private company doing this.
I've never been a fan of PayPal because PayPal out of all of them has been the ones that's been hacked the most. Yes, Aaron, we'll pass it on. I haven't seen Dean on tonight. Normally he says hi.
Yeah.
He must be tied up. But thank you, Aaron. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Fuck.
Everybody on the right side's looking that one up. Holy man. Ron Calhoun. That's what happens.
So
private companies are able to fine you now.
Well, the problem is if you don't read the fine print, you check, just like Facebook. You don't read the fine print. When you sign on to Facebook account, you're gonna scroll for a half hour and you just scroll down the bottom, check I agree, and boom, you got a Facebook account. And then when they're into your private messages and they knock you out of a private message, send you a threatening notice that you're bullying or this, that. I got to write, that's invasion of privacy. It ain't invasion of shit, because you didn't read the fine print all the way down that says this is their platform. They can read in on anything you're doing, including private messages, everything else.
All right, Tammy. So what it is if you sign off on that, you're saying they can fine you for sending, posting, or publication of messages, content, or materials that meet certain criteria, which is misinformation, discriminatory, or hate. So if you, like, let's say you had a T-shirt you wanted to sell, it said
KKK on it.
I love white people. You cannot get away with that.
No.
You would get fined for that. Like,
can't sell T-shirts like Aryan Nation on it or something like that.
They're going to tell you what you're allowed to sell and what you're not allowed to sell.
But once again, if you check that box and say okay, you're bound to that agreement.
Now, just so you all know, they are trying to backtrack on this. It's been coming through all day, and I really haven't had time to read it. But they're saying, no, that's not really what we meant. This got out. It's not what it seems. And so next week,
it's not what it seems. So go ahead and check the box, and then trust me, at Thanksgiving, I'm giving you a $2,500 fine.
Right, because our families need to eat.
Yes. We're feeling Joe Biden's crunch too, ever since the $600.
Here you go, Cam.
If you use PayPal and you sell something, Marketplace and all them are held to this. $600 or more, you're going to get a 1099.
Correct. If you can copy that link and put it in your browser, it'll take you right to it, and you can read it all and have fun with it.
Yeah, we use Venmo.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. It'll if they get away with it, Venmo will start doing it.
You're right, Dave. It's just more, it's government leaning. How's that? Not government control, government leaning is a better word. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy, Ronnie, I'm going to be laughing later on that comment. I'm telling you right now.
Which one?
Yours only. All right, Doug. We got stuff about schools.
All right. Take your Xanax or whatever you want to take.
Yeah.
Again, these videos that we're getting is from Veritas. I'll tell you that it's what they do is if they find, let's say, some teacher in a school that's doing this, they get somebody to go in there like they're friends with them. Oh, that's cool. What are you doing? So when you hear this, you're gonna this guy's gonna sound like he's all about it, but he's really not. He's just videotaping, and
he's undercover.
He's undercover. The best way to do this is to read it versus trying to listen to it, because it's hard to hear sometimes. Because I think they did this one in a restaurant too. When you listen to it, you're going to flip your whatever you have left in there when you hear some of the stuff that this guy says. Next week, we are going to hear from the principal of that school, and you'll be surprised what you hear there too. So here we go. You ready? Don't lose your cookies on this. He's going to say just the right words that you hate.
You're going to come back on
it. Here we go.
eventually you want to like remove Christianity from, or religion from progressive thought, because like religion is inherently hierarchical.
Deep inside the Sooner State in Tulsa, Oklahoma, we caught up with an 8th grade English teacher from Will Rogers High School who still prides himself on his radical activist fame on TikTok more than he does teaching the students.
I have a rather large TikTok following. I'm an authority figure, so I'm going to give out a Christmas message of like, hey, if your parents don't love and support you for who you are this Christmas, them, I'm your parents now. I love you. Drink some water. Proud of me.
What's wrong with that?
I said the word.
Yes, that is Tyler Rinn, who used to be known as Tyler Parks. He used to teach at the Owasso 8th grade center until he resigned last April after these TikTok videos were highlighted by libs of TikTok.
Hey, if your parents don't love and accept you for who you are this Christmas, fuck them. I'm your parents now. I'm proud of you. Drink some water. I love you. Bye.
Parents were outraged. Many took to the internet.
TikTok, posted by a now former Owasso 8th grade teacher, is getting national attention for his pro-LGBTQ stance. It's what he says about parents that's made some upset. This is in the middle of a proposed law putting limits on sex education in schools.
Well, thank God he's out of this school in this district, but who the hell knows where he's going to wind up next and indoctrinate those kids?
Well, our undercover Project Veritas journalists found him. Tyler got a new teaching job in Tulsa at Will Rogers High School, home to some 927 students, about 11 miles away from his previous school. Tyler still doubles down on his anarchist beliefs.
I mean, I don't know how. I'm pretty far left.
I am an anarchist.
Home of the Ropers, the Will Rogers High School dating back to 1939, was renovated to become a state-of-the-art college prep facility for students and teachers. Will Rogers College, Middle, and High School provides all students with opportunities to develop the academic, social, psychological, personal, and critical thinking skills necessary to get to and through college and to prepare them for career and personal success in a global society.
They couldn't stop you. Obviously, you're teaching, so that's good.
No, they definitely couldn't.
Yeah, well.
Owasso was like, they were super, like, they didn't want to stand up for the parents, which I get. I mean, it's Oklahoma, so what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But they definitely didn't. Like, nothing went on my record. Like,
Good,
you know, I could resign instead, so it didn't like garnish my teaching experience. But,
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Well, I'm glad you're in the fight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tyler's 2021 social media was filled with praise for the devil and anti-American rhetoric. Now, he deleted that content, prepping for his new teaching job. However, his TikTok page backdoors his secret curriculum. Here is a list of books that Tyler wants to hide from parents on his TikTok link tree. And here, he also claims his wife could put a hex on people. Now, Tyler's recent TikToks attempt to portray him as just an alternative teacher, dabbling with wearing neckties and mocking accusations that he indoctrinates his students. Over the summer, Tyler asked for money via GoFundMe to purchase, quote, inclusive young adult books for his classroom, while wearing elaborate costumes, including dressing up as a millennial Coraline from the movie.
I will say, Gen Z is like super progressive.
Oh, I know.
I taught in Missouri last year, not last year, but 2 years ago. I taught a philosophy 101 class. We took a political quiz. Half the kids were like radical progressives.
Yeah.
I am definitely not part of Antifa.
Yeah.
As a joke comment.
Yeah.
And they latched onto like, oh my God, he's Antifa.
Despite his denials of being an Antifa sympathizer, Tyler sure talks like he supports the radical agenda. The Antifa movement is defined by the Anti-Defamation League as being, quote, a decentralized, leaderless movement composed of loose collections of groups, networks, and individuals. Because there is no unifying body for Antifa, it is impossible to know how many adherents are currently active.
The only thing that's a problem here is that House Bill 1775 or something, I can get my license revoked for it, for being too woke.
But I think it's,
You know what I mean?
You're not overly, there's ways to.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like, trust me, I want to burn down the entire system.
Yeah. There's ways to introduce these ideas without broadcasting it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I broadcasted it too much last semester. So.
Yeah.
Hi, Tyler. This is James O'Keefe, House Bill 1775. I can get my license revoked for it.
Sir, I don't talk about religion in my classroom.
You don't talk about religion in your classroom.
I do not. I teach English.
You did say here that you could get your license revoked for it. Why would you get your license revoked?
If I speak about religion in a classroom, I can get it revoked. Yes.
Okay.
But I don't.
You've never talked about religion in the classroom.
Never.
The only thing that's a problem here is that House Bill 1775 or something. I can get my license revoked for it, for being too woke. I broadcasted too much last semester. So.
Yeah.
Once again, secret curriculums are pushed by radical teachers that are not being transparent with you about what they teach your children. That's a problem that must be confronted in our country. We want transparency.
Let's stop for 1 second.
We did.
Not all teachers are like this.
Right.
Okay. Not all teachers are like this. So I have a problem with going off, flipping out and saying, these fucking teachers, the teachers, you know what I'm saying, Doug? You've heard me. It gets associated in the whole group. The problem is there's not all teachers like this.
But there's
The problem with this guy is he should not, Larry said it best, take him down to Mingo County and see how it works. You know, I mean, here's the other problem. There's 900 students in that school, correct? That's what they said, 900 students.
Will Rogers High School.
There should be a minimum of 900 teachers standing outside that school right now. I mean, parents, 900 parents. I can tell you this, if my kid or grandkid was being taught by this guy, I'd probably be going to jail.
Especially with what he said about their parents.
Fuck the parents.
I'm your parent.
Yeah, this is 2 weeks in a row that we basically seen teachers from this group that's doing these studies basically say, don't listen to your parents, fuck them. This is a call. This is far beyond, indoctrination, Doug, with this guy. It's a cult. And there's no other way to look at it, and it's criminal. I'm your parent now? No, you're a fucking teacher. That's all you are as a teacher. You're supposed to be teaching my kid arithmetic, English. Where in the English curriculum does it show that you're supposed to teach the dumb shit coming out of this guy's mouth? Where? I can't talk. Then don't talk about religion. Don't talk about it, but don't solicit to get young adult books, which we all know is fucking porn. Probably LGBTQ, elemental P, XYZ, sucking whatever books into the classroom. Let me show you how you should be able to do this as a gay couple, lesbian. It's elementary school, middle school. Motherfucker, man. When are we going to stop this shit? And the problem is, there should be 900 to 1,800 fucking parents up there marching on that school, 11 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Because he resigned, that record got kept private. That's bullshit too. And the sad part of it is those creep ass fucking lawyers. If they wouldn't have hired him because of what he did over those creep ass lawyers, would have went after somebody
The
because
school
of his
for discrimination.
his privacy.
Mm-hmm. So
You want to be a fag, be a fag, Doug. I don't care. I don't care. What you do in your own house, if you want to look at another guy's hairy ass, I got to have a piece of that. That's fine. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care. You want to be friends out in the street or what? That's fine. But I don't push it on me. I'm still on this kick. What if I had a heterosexual parade? What about my fucking beliefs?
I think that's probably going to be on your bucket list to do soon.
What about my fucking beliefs? And a lot of the country people in this country that believe the same way I do about this stuff. What about our beliefs? What about them? They're being pushed to the wayside. The minute we have a belief, hey, we're heterosexual and we're proud of it. We're going to show the world we're proud. We're heterosexual and we're proud. We say that, oh, you're a fucking racist son of a bitch. I'm gay and I don't believe in heterosexual. Well, I don't believe in being gay. What's the difference? I got to walk downtown Sandusky on Gay Pride Week and not say a word. Lord forbid you say a word.
Right.
Oh, it's a hate crime.
So next week, we're going to hear from the principal who has a meeting with all the teachers and basically kind of gives them the whole rundown. And you just got to watch it. It's alarming.
I'm tired of it.
It's happening, and
if it's happening in Oklahoma, anybody remember the movie Officer and a Gentleman? Only two things come from Oklahoma, boy. Steers and quarters, and we don't even know if the steer's steer, because that steer might be identifying as a female cow nowadays,
or a cat.
Yeah, a fucking cat, meow. But I'm serious. If it's happening there, it's happening everywhere. There should be one place for that guy right there. I'm telling you. In my opinion, Facebook, so settle the fuck down. My opinions only. I'm allowed to have them. In a psychiatric ward being evaluated. He wants to have them beliefs, Doug. Whatever. You want to have these kinds of beliefs, be in your house, have them kinds of beliefs, whatever you want, okay? But when you start indoctrinating and starting spreading your belief in a school with 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, that's wrong. That is, and then Satan, to throw Satan, here we go with fucking Satan shit again. We've already showed you guys over there, whoever was watching our show 6-7 months ago, how schools are allowing their places to be used after school for satanic worship. This is what we're teaching our kids. I mean, little Junior goes to school, and next thing you know, little Junior comes home with his hair all colored pink and, gay pride rainbow shit on and stuff. And you go, what happened here? Well, I'm not allowed to tell you. I don't have to tell you. Fuck you.
Right.
You're not my parent no more.
Right.
Little queer Bob teaching the school. My English teacher is my parent.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So, where do we put a stop to this?
How? Because I can show you a video of how the hiring process goes in some of these schools, and then you'll find out why these people get in very easily.
Let's revert back to the fucking asshole we were talking about a little earlier in the show, Garland. Okay? Let's talk about him for a minute. United States School Board Association wrote a letter to President Biden. Biden gives it to Garland. In 5 days, 13 people were being investigated by the FBI under Garland's order because they went to school boards, disagreed with the mask and the vaccinations, and they were talking about it and protesting it. They got considered domestic terrorists, is what they were going to label them as. Let's not forget about that. Now we revert back to today, the shit we just watched. If you go to that school board and start protesting this shit, I guarantee you we're going to follow back to that domestic terrorist shit, because now we're discriminating. Watch. It was set up. We said, what was that, 8 months ago, Doug? A year ago, well, 10 months ago, it was in the winter when that letter went out, or last year or whatever. Fuck, it's been a while, but we said then, when they started, you couldn't go to the school board and bitch about these topics, so you'd be considered a domestic terrorist. Remember that, Doug?
Yep.
We said then, this is a very dangerous game that they're playing because it's not going to stop there.
And
It's got to be stopped because it's not going to. And it's getting worse. They're just keeping using that so-called fucking classification of domestic terrorists because you're interfering with the school board. They're going to keep using that classification for the different agendas that they want to push.
And like we said, probably 98% of your teachers are good teachers, and every district probably has a couple in there that are like these two that we've done over the last 2 weeks.
But it's giving the rest a bad name.
Yes. Yep.
So because I'm gay and I'm proud, and I can teach whatever the fuck I want, and I can.
You heard it right here, guys. He came out on this show.
But stop and think. I can teach whatever I want and hide under that banner. And you start bitching about what you're just against gay. You're against the LBG, elemental P, XYZ, fucking 999. You know.
LGBTQ to SIA plus.
A plus is asshole plus for the asshole we just watched. How's that?
Anarchist.
That'll be added in next. Now, anarchist.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. Whatever happened to teaching history, of where we come from? Be proud to be who we are. It's gone. Now what we teach and what we've showed for weeks is, if you're a parent, fuck you. I don't have to listen to you. I can do whatever I want. They're getting it so the kid don't have to tell you what they're teaching them on this shit. And the schools don't have to notify you about this. We had a show on about that. They don't have to know. If you're a parent, you don't. And if you question that, or try to talk to them about they want to be transgender, gay, lesbian, or whatever, and what area was that, Doug, where the children's service come talk to you?
Yeah, it was out east, New Jersey,
New Hampshire, or New Jersey.
So, I didn't know they were still doing this whole jab thing.
With what?
She said one of the good teachers got put on leave, no pay, for refusing the jab.
Yeah, they're still doing it. COVID's gone now, but they're still doing it.
COVID's over.
COVID's over. Out in California, they're still doing it for sure.
Well, they're a whole different world.
Yeah, that's another country.
So Ohio. Here's one thing from Ohio.
Oh, God.
So in Ohio, if your student does not pass third grade reading, they're automatically held back.
What's third grade reading? Jim decided he wanted to be transgender, and Jim meant Bob, and Bob decided that he might identify as a gay person. Yeah, and
so Bob,
Julie over there wants to identify as a cat. Now, what would that leave us with? A bunch of fucking nutcases.
So Bob, he adopted the cat.
Yeah,
they go to school together now.
Yeah, that would be. Is that the reading?
Well, I don't know what the actual reading is, but they have a test, and if you can't get past that test, they hold you back, which I'm okay with that. The teachers want to end that. The teachers union, I should say. Teachers unions wants to end that. And
why?
because it's discriminatory to these kids that are having a problem.
So here we go. Give everybody a fucking trophy.
Exactly. Give everybody a trophy, move them on to 4th grade, and let that teacher handle it. This
Yeah. I heard about that the other day, actually. Fucking Coast Guard guys down there saving people and everything else. But you know what? Thank you, but at the end of the month, fuck you. Because you refused to get the jab. Which, in my mind's got me fucked up right now. One of the two. But whatever. Settle down, Facebook. That's my opinion of my own fucking body. I know you know more than I do about my body. Ain't ever mentioned Zucker fuck, but you know more.
You think you know more because that's how you put it out. We think.
We think.
Yeah.
You may have.
So anyhow, back to the reading thing. And this is just Ohio schools. Now there's a professor that's his contract's not being renewed because a bunch of the students went up to the school board and said nobody can pass his test. He's talks. What's it called when you talk down to somebody?
I don't know. We ain't allowed to do that.
Whatever. Condescending. He's condescending to us, and he just nobody can pass his test. Which they looked into, and they said, yeah, out of 100 kids, 30 get past his class because he's teaching, and they didn't renew his contract because these students complained. So they want to dumb things down. We're going to have the dumbest country around.
Well, look at the leadership. We already do. Because we put him in office.
Yep, Marty, we talked about that too. That, for example, if you go to the school report card page that we put out about 3 weeks ago, look at Steubenville City Schools, which is down here. They give the answers to the kids. They'll walk around and they'll go, that's wrong. Change that, change that. Because they don't want a bad grade. And it shows on their teaching.
And then, like Dave said, they don't want Dirty Johnny to stay in their class.
Right.
Get him out of there.
Right.
And that's, it's wrong.
I never thought about that one, Marty, but you know what? As the Bilderberg group would want that. Dumb people down so that they do it.
Dumb people down. Do what we tell you to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Walk over and jump off that bridge. Okay. What's at the bottom? Don't worry about it. Okay.
All right.
You'll be fine.
I know you got my message.
And that's where we're at. And if we ain't teaching them that, we're teaching them how to be gay. Tell me I'm wrong. Somebody tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
We're not teaching them any morals, any responsibility. Fuck your parents until this bill's due in school. We'll go home and ask your parents for the money for it. No, you just said you're the fucking daddy. You pay the fucking bill.
There you go. Right.
You want to preach this shit. You got a lot of bills to pay here. School books and shit, Sonny. Where's the clothes? Matter of fact, you just hand me $80, $100 a week too for food and everything. I'm housing the fucker. I'll give you the rent, bill at the end of the month too. It don't work like that. It shouldn't work like that. It's starting to work like that, Doug. Unbelievable that we have dumbass fucking people in this fucking world at that age. That kid can't be no more than 25 years old. That we have dumbass people at that age thinks that it's okay to teach kids this.
Right.
And you hit it on the head. What happens? What happens at that young age? At 9, 10 years old, 12 years old, what the assistant secretary of health, that transgender, ugly-looking bastard, at 12, 13 years old, a kid should be allowed to decide whether they want to take body-altering drugs without parental consent. And then at 18, the guy goes, shit, man, this is a bad idea. Now he's got tits and everything else, Doug.
Now I do. Next week I can bring that video on. That's another Project Veritas talking to. Actually, they got into a like a World Health thing Zoom call. They ended up on that, and that's how they got this information. You're going to hear the Zoom call that this guy's having with everybody. One more for you.
Listen, I've said it before. You want to be transgender and identify as a woman? Fine. Go have the fucking surgery. You're really serious about it. Simple.
Yep.
Whatever. I got to calm down.
All right. I'll give you this one as a calming. So this guy, he decides to open up a restaurant on his property called Diddley Squat Farm Shop. It's a restaurant.
Yeah.
And he's 62 years old. They have a grand opening. It goes wild. Everybody loves this food. He does a really good job. You know, the whole seed to table, whatever stuff. Well, guess who didn't like it? The city or the town or whatever. He's on a farm, so he must be in a county somewhere. They come in and they go, you don't have proper parking, toilets, traffic, and you are making our area look visually intrusive and harmful, and shut them down.
One, traffic. And I went through this about 50 miles south of here with the city council. Once they hit the roads, not my problem.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
You know, well, we're going to have traffic jam. That's not my fucking problem. That's a state or county or city problem. I don't own the street. I pay taxes to maintain that street. Two, if everybody can park properly, what's the problem?
I'm going to get backlash for this, but what if Perkins Township came to the track and said, this is visually obtrusive. You're bringing traffic in here that we don't want, and you need to shut it down. And they have every right to do that.
No. Well, no. See, here's why. Health Department approved it.
They did here too.
We pay yeah. So I'd fight it.
It doesn't really say whether it's village or county or what, but
doesn't matter if you got a business and he had to apply for a business license, okay, yes. An operational license,
which is a state,
but they approved it or he wouldn't open.
Right.
He had to go through the county health department and everything, apply for the license. They approved it or it wouldn't open. Then it got open. Then they decide what it is you had a couple knuckle brain assholes on council, commissioners, or whatever, whose buddy said, hey, they're really hurting my fucking restaurant up here, and I donate a lot of money to your campaign fund. You know what? Yep, you're right. And they went out there and fucked with the guy. Tell me I'm wrong. Because in order to open, they had to have all the permit. And listen, people, open a restaurant or a racetrack or any kind of business, and I'm telling you right now, you'll go out and you'll count the parking spots. You open up business, you got, let's say you can occupy 100 people. Okay, Doug, everybody sees what you walk into a restaurant. There's an how many people it can occupy? 100 right. Or whatever. That's what your permit's for. You better have spots to accommodate that for parking. Am I wrong, Doug?
Yep, you're correct.
And then you got to have a certain amount of bathrooms that accommodate a certain amount of people. They got a fucking whole chart system they go through, what the bathrooms to the people, this, that, and the other. And you better have that right or you ain't opening.
You're right.
Simple. Then you got to go into the fire codes, the electric codes. everybody thinks, well, let's just go buy this and make it a restaurant or this. Let me tell you something. You'll spend 3-4 months fucking getting permits. Then they'll come in like in Mansfield. Well, the elevator hasn't been checked. Well, this place was open last year too. Where were you? Well, you got to pay for the permit for last year too.
Oh wow,
It's a whole different group.
Just
Huh?
one thing here before we go on here. I need to go back. I want to show you something.
Unbelievable.
So this place
It's a communist
is
state that we live in.
Cotswolds area of outstanding natural beauty is what he is being visually intrusive and harmful to. Here's his place.
Yeah.
Looks
Looks like a good party to me.
It does look like that. And now
Huh?
look at the line.
Yeah, that's what everybody's pissed about in town.
Right. So,
Craig Miller. Yeah, I did. Remember that phone call, Greg? I need you down here quick. But what it is, somebody got red ass because they dropped in business and somebody was paying the campaign fund more. And here, Larry Justice is watching, and I'm sure there's a few others know a lot of the history down south. Anybody tell me where the term redneck come from? Can you, Doug?
you know, I just heard this and I don't remember it.
Coal miners. When the coal miners, corporations had their little towns and they were controlling so much and the government was on their side, and the coal miners went up in the hills. The guy that was fighting for the union at the time, the union was good, and fighting for their rights, workers' rights, because the way, they were killing people left and right. They didn't care. Unsafe conditions. Well, the coal miners all banded together. And there's a moral to this story, people. Coal miners all banded together. And how they knew that they were with or against was a lot of the coal miners that were fighting put red bandanas around their necks so they could identify each other. They went up in the hills and a fight started. And they fought. It is in West Virginia somewhere, but that's how the term rednecks. Until that happens again, Doug, a stand like that happens again, we're fucked. Maybe we ought to yank the red handkerchiefs around, tie them around our neck, say, okay.
We're part of the C&D No Bull Show.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
Seriously, that's
nobody understands where the actual term redneck. The actual term redneck come from was the coal miners when they revolted against the corporations and the government. The term redneck come from, they all tied red bandanas so they knew which ones were on the side fighting, because when they got to fighting, they wanted to identify each other. It has nothing to do with being a hillbilly from anywhere, from Berlin Heights, West Virginia, Kentucky, this, that, and the other. The redneck term is more towards the south of West Virginia, Kentucky, and all that area because of, and I believe it overflowed into Kentucky. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody knows, but that's why they call a lot of people down in the south like that rednecks. That term come on as a slang term now. But the actual, if you look it up, the actual term redneck was in that fight. And they used to wear the bandana. Until that happens again, we're fucked. Because that needs to happen again. It is. Right. Yep. Remember, Larry, if you read history, people, the corporations, we had to fight to free slaves. And what the corporation was doing to the coal miners, black, white, it didn't matter, was enslaving them. You didn't get paid. You could go up to the grocery store. You lived right on the compound. They had a grocery store, and they'd take it off. You guys read up on it. It's interesting reading. You all thought I was stupid, didn't you?
Yeah.
A couple people didn't know that. I am stupid.
That's what your claim to fame is known, the term redneck, and it's org. All right,
There's a lot of us Billies, Dave. I'm a hillbilly. Go ahead. We're over our time, ain't we?
Yeah. So you got the last word.
I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to start. And here's the sad part of this, people. A year ago, the neighborhood would have heard me on that guy's interview.
Yep.
The neighborhood would have heard me.
Yep.
I'd have been flipping out. Facebook would have kicked me off 2-3 times by now. Yep. I'd have been coming back on Matter and what I went off. But nothing really phases me anymore with the schools. There's not a whole lot. I mean, I get wound up, but you just sit there and you go, what's next?
Even with politics, it's like,
what's next?
Yeah.
What dumb shit's gonna come out of our head politician's mouth next?
Right.
In 2 weeks. He's calling out and asking where a woman was. She's supposed to be at that meeting. And she'd been dead for a year. I mean, a month. She was dead a month. Yep. Then he goes on national TV.
Hold on, let me play it. It's 20 seconds long.
Yeah.
And so many of you know so much about this as well, and you're committed. And I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here to help make this.
She must not be here.
She must not know. And she got cremated. She's in a little urn up on somebody's mantle of dust.
Somebody would have at least put her on a chair.
Yeah, here she is. I got a little vial here, right here, Joe. You want to talk to her? You seem
fixated on her.
Then he goes back and he says, we're the closest to nuclear apocalypse than we've ever been. Why would you say that?
Right.
So it starts there and goes all the way into our schools. In 2 years, people, in 2 years, this is what it's come to. And it just makes you wonder, and if you're not, maybe you should think, how long has this been going on before that? That, different presidents have fought and put stops to. Different governors like DeSantis has put stops to. We got DJ Swearingen put the bill up, we talked about last week, to stop some bullshit and stuff. How long has it been going on? Now it's out in the public and you got an administration backs them. So there's nothing surprises me. There's nothing anymore in the last 18 months that 18 months ago, holy crap, I'd probably kicked the laptop upside down by now.
You're right.
Until we put the red bandanas on, people, it's going to keep going on. That's why I brought that story up. Until we put red bandanas on and fight for what we believe in, it's going to keep going. I've lived my life. You think for a second I'm afraid to die for my grandbabies? Not the slightest minute. Yeah. Because I'm just used to it. Because nothing surprises me. You're probably right. And that's with the wearing us down. To where we were like a lot of other people. What can you do? It's got to stop.
Right.
Better, if you ain't registered to vote, I doubt there ain't one person over on that right side that ain't registered. But if you're not, you only got a few more days, Doug. I think Wednesday this week.
The 11th, yeah.
So you better get registered.
And tomorrow's a holiday, so.
Other than that, thank everybody for watching. We get a little off track sometimes, but hey, at least we ain't got a complete agenda. So thank everybody. Doug, you got anything?
I have nothing.
Yeah, you've done stirred me up. All right, everybody. God bless America. God bless all of you. Thank you.
See ya.